So today in this video I'm going to talk about how to love a woman and the things that men could do today to improve their romantic relationship. I did a video before on how to love a man where I asked men about how they want to be loved. You could check that out. And I also did a rebuttal to that video. So this video is talking about how to love a good woman, right? The things that men could do today to improve their romantic relationship, right? So I did not ask women about how they want to be loved. I'm a woman, I think that's good enough. This might be a little biased because I'm talking from my experience, I'm talking from what I see in society, my country, my community, so it could be a little biased or whatever, but I think that this video will be useful to men and women, right? So it's not necessarily in any particular order, right? So one of the first thing I have that I see men need to improve on today is their emotional availability, right? I talk about emotional unavailability already before in this channel in several videos. I also did a video on how to be emotionally available. You could also check that out. So to love a woman it's good to be emotionally available, right? And that deals with being open to having different conversations where you share your feelings, you share your emotions, you both talk about your desires, you talk about your past, you talk about your past mistakes in romantic relationships in the past. Emotional availability deals with being reliable and being consistent. You know, if you say you're going to do something, you do it. You show up every day to work on the relationship, to have a better relationship, right? You don't switch up. You know, you don't switch up how you feel, your feelings. You don't switch on things. You decide. You would value her time, you value her feelings, and emotional availability and so on could also deal with when you committing in a timely manner, right? And also emotional availability, like deals with intimacy, right? So a woman wouldn't want a man who is who suck at intimacy, right? So emotional availability and intimacy have a connection. I talk about intimacy before in other videos, right? And briefly, intimacy in a relationship is a feeling of closeness. And it's when you feel emotionally connected and supported by your partner, right? So this is also one aspect I see men are really failing in is intimacy, right? And is where you are able to share a wide range of your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences, both of you, as human beings, right? It involves being open, talking through thoughts, emotion. It's like letting your guard down and being vulnerable and just showing somebody how you really feel, telling them your hopes, telling them your dreams, telling them your expectations, right? So intimacy, most men, and what I see, they suck at intimacy, and that is part of being emotionally available, right? So some men, basically, I would just spend a little time on intimacy, right? Some men think intimacy is just about sex, and it's important to share a wide range of emotions with your partner. You need to have like an emotional connection in order for you to have a good enough sex life, right? Otherwise, your woman could begin to feel lonely and isolated, regardless of how good your sex is or your sexual performance is. She could feel isolated and lonely because you're not discussing like different emotions, feelings, or thoughts, right? And there are many things that could affect intimacy, right? And that is having communication issues, which is another aspect I think men need to work on. Most men need to work on their communication, right? So if you want to have good intimacy, you need to communicate well. And communication issues affects intimacy. You know, if you and your partner are not communicating with each other, not sharing feelings, not saying what you need in the relationship, then the needs that your partner wants, her needs will not be met, and obviously she will be dissatisfied, right? If she don't feel like she's understood, it's really hard to create intimacy and to create a bond, right? It's important to talk to her about her needs, to check in with her, to check in how she's feeling. You know, this act alone can really create a sense of connectedness and well, intimacy is what I'm talking about. Another thing that blocks intimacy or affects intimacy is if you always have conflict, right? If there's ongoing conflict in your relationship, it will be difficult to develop intimacy, right? It's not easy to feel close. You want your woman to feel close to you, right? Okay. It's not easy to feel close when you're arguing, when she's angry, when she's hurt, when she has resentment, or she doesn't trust you, or just like there's this sense of unappreciation or whatever. All of that affect intimacy, right? And there are many other things that would affect intimacy. Maybe you have money problems will affect intimacy, financial problems. Maybe you are concerned about the children's health, or you can't meet their basic needs. Maybe somebody have some health issues, or always being really busy all the time, always too busy, never have time. That affects intimacy. And there are times in relationship when yeah, your needs might not be met, you're really busy, but you really need to put some time aside, right? Yes, there are pressing issues and other problems here and there that will come up that you need to focus on, but you really need to at least put aside like a 5 minutes at least to check in, or just to have a cup of tea together to check in, right? So small moments like these can make her feel connected to you, close to you, right? And that could build intimacy. Emotional abuse also blocks intimacy. Violence also destroys the trust in relationship. If you have like a negative childhood experiences, or you have like bad past romantic relationships, you have like current traumas and unresolved emotional issues, you like have baggage from the past, all of that will affect the intimacy, right? So that is the emotional availability I think men need to work on, right? And emotional availability and intimacy have a connection, and that is why I spend a little time talking about intimacy, which is a problem I see for most men, right? So continuing, the second thing I have is respect. You need to respect her. That's how to love a good woman. You should respect. I'm also talking about things that I see men need to improve on is having respect, right? Which I talked about before in many other videos. Women don't want to feel taken for granted, right? They don't want to be treated poorly. We don't want to feel disposable. We want to we don't want to be used for sex. If we're in a relationship, we want to be updated on what's going on in your life, in our life, in your relationship. We want help with chores. That is also respect. You don't just leave everything there for her to do. If you're working, she's working. Obviously, you would need to help with chores. You need to help to cook. You might need to help to clean. You might need to help to take care of the kids in some way. Or you might need to pay someone to help her, right? Women, you need to respect women. That's how you love a good woman. You should respect by being faithful, by being loyal, by not cheating, and by not lying, right? You should respect by listening actively. Women want to feel heard, they want to feel understood, and they want to know that their opinions matter, right? And also, there's some men, they make big decisions without consulting their woman, right? If you want to make a big decision, especially if it deals with finances or children or something like that, you should talk with her before you make big decisions. Don't just make the decision and then continue on, right? To show respect, you avoid doing things that upset her, that she doesn't like. To show respect, you provide financially. You make sure that your family and her, that everybody is comfortable with all their needs met, right? And make her feel secure. That is showing respect. You know, match your words with your actions. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to make this decision, stick on it, right? That is respect. And this is just like a brief, like I'm just touching on this briefly because I talked about respect before in depth in other videos, right? Respect also deals with like encouraging time apart, you know, allowing her to pursue her outside goals or things that is not involving the home, to spend time with her friends, to spend time with family, you know. Let her engage in her favorite activities or whatever, which will be good for her mental health, to pursue her dreams and fulfill all her goals. Like, encourage time apart. There are some men, when they get involved and they get serious in a romantic relationship, they tend to cut their wife, their woman, their whoever significant partner off from their family and friends and want to just like isolate her. Showing respect is encouraging time apart, to be with her friends, to do her work, to do her hobbies, to achieve her goals, right? That is showing respect. And showing respect is also like showing that you trust her. You know, don't try to be overly controlling. This is one of the best ways you can show respect. Avoid texting all the time, and there are some men, they are clingy and they are needy. They text 5 times a day, they call 5 times a day trying to know what is going on. Like they go through your phone, men going through your phone. To me, that's just like embarrassing. As a man going through phone, checking messages and calls and whatever, that is just like showing insecurity and showing that you don't trust her, right? Avoid snooping around. As men snoop around on social media too, snoop around trying to find things, trying to see who you like on Instagram, trying to see who you follow, who you subscribe to, many things. Snooping on social media is not showing respect, it's not showing that you trust her. And yes, showing that you trust your partner is a form of respect by not snooping around, right? Showing respect is also supporting her dreams, you know, especially if it's something serious she's trying to pursue. You support her, you give full support and encouragement. That is showing respect. It will give her extra motivation to pursue her goals and her dreams, knowing that you support her, right? Another way you show respect that men, I think, really need to do is like talk in a good tone of voice and have some good body language, right? Don't raise your voice, especially in public or like at home where their kids are around. If you have children, it's really disrespectful to raise your voice in public to your woman and having like an aggressive type of body language. You know, yelling at her is a clear sign of disrespect. And if you're angry or you're triggered or something, as a man, you should take some time to cool down before you try to discuss any other like matters that is disturbing you. Never discuss issues when you're angry, especially as a man. So take time to clear your head and discuss things in an objective way, in a calm manner, right? That is showing respect. That's just an overview of some of the things you could do as a man to show respect to your woman, right? That is one major way to show that you love your woman, is to respect her, right? The third thing I have is women, especially when they're in a relationship, they want to feel special, they want to feel desired, and they want to feel loved, and they want to feel wanted, right? So I talk about love languages before on this channel in when I talk about love languages. In couple other videos I did before, I talk about love languages, and that is where you use love languages to show reassurance and to show love, right? So women want to feel special, they want to feel desired, and they want to feel loved and wanted. And some of the things you could do to do this is to give compliments. Give compliments on her looks, on her style, on her personality, on her talents. You could show affection by giving gifts, by expressing your love, by surprising her, all of these things. Making her feel special, desired, loved, and wanted is being faithful, not cheating, not lying, and just also showing affection in public, which in my society, not a lot of men do that. They don't really show affection in public. And if you want to make your woman feel special and desired and loved and wanted, you show affection in public, right? I see this as a big problem where I live, right? So continuing, you could buy gifts, you could check in, you could text her, you could call her, check in to see how she's feeling, what's going on in her life, how you could be useful to resolve some problem. Free up your time to be with her, right? So to make her feel special, you can rearrange your schedule, try to fit her in some way. Yes, you could be busy, but if you try to schedule in time for her, that will really make her feel special. Freeing up time to be with her, right? And listening actively and being patient with her could also make her feel special. And forgiving her and being open and being honest. Those are things you could do to make your woman feel special. Women like to feel desired, we like to feel loved and wanted, right? So another thing you could do is be there when she really needs you. Maybe she could be sad, or she needs somebody to stand up for her in a situation. You need to be there to comfort her when she's not feeling well, or maybe when she's sick or something. When shit hit the fan, you're there. Be there when she really needs you. Next thing you could do is help solve problems in her life, right? Be useful. Maybe you're good in finances. Help with, maybe she has her own business and maybe she needs help with the finances and so on. Help with that. And other ways you can make your woman feel special, desired, loved is to don't take her for granted. Don't give up on the relationship when there's obstacles. Use obstacles as a way to get closer, to solve problems, to create intimacy and to create closeness, right? When there are problems, you don't just give up, you apologize, you resolve conflict, you admit you're wrong, you take accountability for your actions. All of these things can make a woman feel special and desired and loved and wanted. Give your undivided attention. Listen actively, right? Celebrate her success, Be her number one fan. I don't know what she's doing in her life. Maybe she's a public figure or something like that. Be her number one fan, support her, right? Those are many things you can do to make a woman feel loved, to feel special, to feel wanted and desired, right? And the next thing I have is to have communication skills. This is another aspect. All of these are problems I see with men today. Not having communication skills. And this is a way to show love, having communication skills. A good woman in a relationship, she does not want a man who is cut off, who is cold, who is stoic, stubborn, defensive, standoffish, who bottle up everything, who sneaky, hide stuff. A woman don't want that. That is not how you show love. Women do not like that. We do not like when you sneak around, you lie, you hide information, you avoid conversation, you defensive, you stoic, stubborn. We don't like that. We don't want that. That is not how you show love, and this is also another big ongoing thing I keep seeing in men, lacking communication skills. Women want somebody who could communicate effectively, who know how to share their feelings, who know how to share their opinions, who know how to share their expectations, right? And I don't know why some men fail to communicate. I don't know, maybe because they don't want to feel rejected, or they don't want to upset their partner, or they don't want to have misunderstandings. They just suppress their feelings. They avoid conversation. I don't know, maybe they don't know how to have a productive conversation, but that is just showing that you lack communication skills, right? You actually need to communicate to actually get to know a person, to know what she likes, to know what she dislikes, to know her values, to know her love language. You need to communicate, right? Women in a relationship, to show love, they want you to be open and be honest and not aggressive, talk in a good tone of voice and have good body language when you're communicating, right? We do not like someone who bottle up all their feelings, who push things under the rug, who don't resolve conflict and keep having the same problems over and over. That is not how you show love. That is not how you love a good woman, right? Men have communication problems. They're defensive when there's things to discuss. You refuse to apologize. You lack forgiveness. You can't compromise. You don't sacrifice. You don't attempt to connect. You assume that you know everything about how she's feeling and what to do, which is not the case, right? That is why you need to know to communicate. They want someone who knows to resolve conflict and to resolve problems and who owns up to their mistakes, right? That's communication skills. It's just almost all of these points that I'm bringing up, all of them are important, right? The next way you can show love as a man, and the next point I have where men could improve, is to have integrity. Some men, they lack integrity. They are not honest. They don't have you actually don't have a good character. Like, you're not a good person. You're not trustworthy. You don't keep your word. You don't want to talk. You lie, you cheat, you manipulate to get what you want. You're not trustworthy. You hide things. You could be avoidant, stubborn, rigid, cold, unreasonable. Like, not knowing how to reason out things, or to reach to a solution, or to resolve the problem finally. There's you don't have integrity within yourself to be a good human being, right? You look unconcerned, like you don't care. Like, seriously, have integrity. And what I'm talking about here now is just try to be a good human being, right? That is a way you can show love. You be a good human being. You have integrity. You show that we can trust you. You show that you can resolve conflict. You show that you're open-minded. You show that you're not defensive. You show that you're concerned. You don't hide things. You don't manipulate. You don't cheat. You don't lie. That's having integrity. And that's one way you could love a woman, right? The next one I have is men lack patience. Some men lack patience. They're not compassionate and not empathetic and not loving, or maybe they don't know how to show love. Right, so women want a man who cares and who is concerned about her, and women could know if you really care or if you're really concerned about them, right? I feel like men need to know how to sympathize, and obviously maybe most of it comes from their childhood and having a rough upbringing, or a neglectful parent, or many things that I've discussed here before that could happen in childhood. Maybe their parents were alcoholic or had a mental issue, or they lost a parent, or single parent, whatever, something happened in their life where they got neglected or something, and now they do not know how to they do not know how to be empathetic and to sympathize, or to put themselves in the other person's shoes, to really understand and see why they behave like that, or how they could think like that, or whatever, right? Women also, as a man expressed in How to Love a Man, women also want a safe space to open up, to be vulnerable, and to talk to somebody who they trust, who could understand their point of view, who could understand their opinion, and who would change if it's necessary, right? Who's open to change, a man who's open to becoming better, right? That's the other one. The next one I have, how you could the next point I have when you showing love to a woman, how you could show love to a woman, or the things I think men need to work on today is their physical appearance, their appearance, right? Their hygiene. Like, don't smell bad. You don't have to like wear expensive cologne or perfume or anything like that, but just take good care of your hygiene. Drink water. Have a skin routine. Or, cut down on alcohol, cut down on drugs, cut down on smoking. You could improve your style, the way you dress. You could groom properly, exercise, don't have unwanted weight on yourself. Exercise, lift some weights at least like 3 times a week or something. Just eat better to fight off this unwanted weight that you have on yourself, right? Just work on your appearance. Some men could be rugged and they look good like that. Some men choose to be rugged and that might not fit you. You might actually have to put effort into cutting your hair, into grooming, like fixing your bed and washing your bed and keeping your bed moisturized and your skin and whatever. You might have to put some extra effort. I'm saying you should put some extra effort. There's a lot of men today, especially where I live. In my society, men are gaining weight, and I could see they don't take care of themselves. I could see they eat anything. I could see they drink a lot and smoke a lot, and that's something I think men need to work on, their appearance, right? Next thing men need to work on and how to show love to a woman is to work on your sexual performance. Some men, they don't focus on foreplay at all. They don't spend much time on foreplay. And you just need to also improve your sexual stamina. Right, obviously you might need to lose weight. If you're obese or you have unnecessary weight gain, that means you might have problems with your sexual performance. You might need to start go for a run, or start to swim or bike riding, or do some strengthening exercise for your muscles or something, lift weights. Or you might need to become more flexible, or you might need to work on your balance or whatever. Maybe your woman might request you to do something new, or you need to be fit, or have some work on your sexual performance, right? And that would include reduce drinking, reduce smoking, reduce stress, get enough rest, and pay attention to what your partner wants during sex. Or maybe I think I would advise men to just talk about sex before you actually have sex, to just reduce the awkwardness of having sex and reduce that. Sometimes it's really weird and things are not flowing because you haven't talked about it or whatever, or you just have problems with your performance. You will know what your problem is. So yeah, basically improve your sexual performance. And the last thing I have is to build your money and your career, right? So you should try to have multiple streams of income. You should try to save your money. You should try to invest your money. You should try to advance in your career. Don't be stagnant and at the same place. You should just be striving to get more money and to be become financially free or whatever, right? So that's 9 things a man could do to show that he loves his woman. It's a lot. And these are also things I could see today men really need to work on, right? And that is being emotionally available, working on intimacy. Most men today, they suck at intimacy. One time I was asking some guys, so what do you do to be romantic? And he was like, have sex. Okay. I was like, what? I ask other men, what do you do to be romantic? Have sex. I'm like, wow, you really need to work on being emotionally available, like having conversations, listening actively, talking about feelings, sharing opinions, sharing your experience, communicating, talking, getting to know the person, planning dates, knowing their love language, listening to them actively. Maybe you tell them something good, give them a gift, plan a picnic, I don't know. Many things that I've discussed in previous videos, right? The next thing is show respect, and also make a woman want to feel special, want to feel wanted, you want to feel desired, you want to feel loved. How else you can love a woman? Improve your communication skills. Learn how to resolve conflict. Learn how to reason out different issues. Learn how to listen actively. Stop being rigid, cold, standoffish, sweeping things under the rug, avoiding conversation, using silent treatment. All of these things you need to stop doing if you want to show that you love your woman. You will improve your communication skills. You would also have some integrity. Try to just be a good person. Be trustworthy. Stop lying, stop cheating. Show that you care. The next thing is being patient, being compassionate, being empathetic and loving. Try to put yourself in her shoes. Try to feel how she feels. Try to understand from her perspective. Try to listen to her side of the story. Be patient. Forgive. People make mistakes. Don't be quick to give up on the relationship. Use obstacles to create intimacy. I mentioned before, to create intimacy. Resolve problems as a team. You're not the enemy. Work on your appearance. You will need to know what you need to do to work on your appearance, work on your sexual performance, and build your money and your career and move up in your career, right? So that is how to love a good woman. Those are the things that I believe men need to work on today to improve their romantic relationship. I know this video would help. It could help men, it could help women. It's mostly for men. And good luck with everything. If you like this content, subscribe. You could like this video and you could check out other videos I have, and see you in the next one.